Hi, I'm Jeremy Watson, CEO of Bedrock Investment Property. Coming to you today to share some important things about buying a piece of property in a market where you don't live. All right, when you're looking at investing in properties that are not in your own backyard, there's a lot of very important things you've got to consider. Number one, you've got to build a team. Okay? Let's just do it like this. If you were to invest in a property tomorrow in Memphis, Tennessee, what would be your first step? All right, you'd probably Google property in Memphis, Tennessee. You got to start somewhere. And you'd find some realtors in Memphis, Tennessee, and you'd call them and you'd say, hey, I want to buy some rental property in Memphis, Tennessee. Are you an expert in rental properties? And every single realtor under the sun is going to say, oh, yes, I am. I'm the greatest expert there's ever been. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll find an honest one, but maybe not. Truth is, you'll have to find a realtor, you'll have to find a broker, you'll have to start looking at properties in Memphis and trying to get used to the different demographics. We love Memphis. We buy in Memphis right now very actively. But the truth is, Memphis is also like number 5 murder per capita in the country. It's a really dangerous city. And there are parts of Memphis where I wouldn't own rental real estate. And so you've got to sort through that with your broker or your property finder, your bird dogger, whoever it is, right? You've got to sort through what markets are good, understand your markets, understand your sub-markets. You've got to trust the person you're talking to so that they're just not there to earn a quick commission. They're going to help you find properties over time. They understand what the market is, what it should rent for, right? Maybe they'll say, hey, it's a great property, but maybe it's just not in a rental demand area. Maybe you end up buying a 6-bedroom, 2-bath that's never going to rent to anyone except some touring band or something. Truth is, all of those are little details just on finding the right realtor and understanding the market. Beyond that, you're going to need other memberships of the team that are local. You're going to need people who could rehab the property if you buy it and it's not rent ready. You're going to need brokers in the market who you can work with. You're going to need maybe different craftsmen and tradesmen who can get into the property, who can work with your rehabbing teams if you don't already have them. You're going to need a bunch of different people on the ground so that you can actually deal with that property. Moreover, you're going to need a property manager more often than not. If you're buying in Memphis, Tennessee and you live in San Francisco, you're not going to fly out to Memphis, Tennessee and show that property to tenants on the weekend. No, you're going to need someone who will do that. Moreover, you're going to need someone who knows how to market that property for rent and what people expect in Memphis. So the truth is you have to find a property manager and vet that property manager and manage that property manager, make sure they're not robbing you blind, make sure they're doing a good job. So there's a lot of different pieces on the ground that you've got to have before you go just buy a property in Memphis, even if you've been convinced that Memphis is a great market, which it is. Beyond all of that, you have to be able to find good strategic partners. Okay, when you're buying a piece of property, you need a lender who knows how to do investment lending because based on our data that we get from the National Mortgage Association, we see that about 40% of investment loans fall out in underwriting. And that's because people who give loans don't usually give investment loans. And the underwriting criteria are different. And it's just not their forte, and so they just don't know how to do it real well. They don't get all the things in and it all blows up. That's a real problem. Well, what if your source of funds is somewhere weird? What if you're buying inside of a self-directed IRA that you set up 15 years ago? What if you're buying inside of a self-directed IRA, but you have to do a 1031 because you're 1031 from an old property to another property? Is your team the type of team that's going to have all those question marks answered with someone who does that, right? A self-directed IRA, 1031 exchange that needs a lender. Right? You've got to have all of those different pieces of talent in place if you're going to buy properties in a market where you don't live. And even if you're going to buy in a market where you live, you need all those pieces of talent. At Bedrock Acquisitions, we have helped over 4,000 properties transact. We've bought over 4,000 houses in the last decade. So we have all of those pieces of the puzzle, strategic partnerships for lending, long-term partnerships, 1031 custodians, lenders who will lend inside of an IRA. We have all those partnerships already in place because we use them every day. More than that, we have all the local partnerships, property managers, brokers, realtors, property finders, people who knock doors, people who go to the foreclosure auctions and bid on properties. We have all of that just as a part of doing business because we use it a lot. So if you have any questions about buying a property in a market where you don't live, feel free to give us a call. My name is Jeremy Watson. Thank you again for your time. You have a beautiful day.